In this last discussion of worldviews, I want to remind us of the 7 key questions James Sire suggested we ask of any worldview, especially of the one we wish to follow. Those questions were: what is prime reality, the really real? What is the nature of external reality, that is, the world around us? What is a human being? What happens to a person at death? Why is it possible to know anything at all? And how do we know what is right and wrong, and what is the meaning of human history? Having looked at atheistic materialism, new spirituality or the New Age, and postmodernism, let's consider one final worldview option available to us: Christianity. A summary of the concepts of this worldview include the belief that there is an eternal God who created the heavens and the earth. This God exists in a triune relationship of Himself, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, all co-equal in being, power, and purpose. This God interacts with His creation and has inserted Himself into human history through Jesus. God's purpose is to have a personal relationship with His human creation that will exist beyond physical time into eternity. In answering Sire's questions, the Christian worldview might respond in this way: the prime reality is God, who created this universe and all it contains. What is around us is real, placed here for us, also His creation, and all is dependent upon Him for sustaining this world. Human beings were created in the image of God, with self-consciousness, freedom to make choices, morally accountable, rational, and have a spiritual component allowing us to relate to God. Death is not the end of existence. Since we are physical beings with a spiritual component, human beings will exist beyond death, not in a physical form, but in a spiritual form, either in a relationship with God or away from Him, depending upon the choices we have made during this temporal physical life. God, being all-wise and all-powerful, is the source of truth. He has revealed this truth to humanity through the Word He has given, the Bible. God has also given us intelligence, the ability to reason and learn from what He has revealed and that which is around us. However, as a consequence of humanity's rebellion to Him, that reasoning at times is flawed and twisted. Through His Word, God has established the foundation of moral behavior. Humanity may choose to disregard those standards, but then must face the consequences of their actions. History is an unfolding of God's purpose and plan for His creation. He has not only revealed that purpose, but has Himself been a part of bringing it about in a personal way. This makes the Christian worldview an open system, where God, from His position as different from His creation, is still able to work within the system in ways to work His will and His good for His creation. Thus, God not only created this world, but He is also actively involved in revealing how we should act by the standards He has set. Any rebellion or disobedience to His standards, called sin, results in consequences, a separation from Him. One key consideration which sets this worldview apart from the others is that since all the others are basically closed systems, where there is no outside power or influence on those within the system, it is up to human beings to save themselves from the mistakes they make. In Christianity, God Himself has taken the initiative to redeem humanity and to resolve that separation between Himself and human beings through the sending of His Son, Jesus, and His death on the cross as the substitutionary sacrifice for sin. Another consideration is that if the Christian worldview is true, The other worldviews, although not really recognizing God, are still accountable to Him. Not only are they accountable to Him to follow His ways, they must also face Him for the final accounting of judgment, to be recompensed for what they have done in this world in their physical bodies. One might ignore that fact and hold to another worldview which will direct their beliefs and actions, yet they must one day face God. That is a sobering reality. The challenge with competing worldviews is that there are fragments in each of them which are similar to Christian teachings. Some may hold to them, not realizing they are really distortions of biblical truth. The consideration every person should think through is to not exchange the truth of God for a lie, but to seek Him while He may be found, for He is not far from any one of us. May God grant you wisdom, discernment, and the courage to seek Him as you live and exist in this world through His grace and power.